Hey guys, this is Sam and Derik from the Grid Games with our last of the set review trilogy that's been going on here. We're going to finish off with the last two gods, and then some fun stuff that we've picked for you guys. So this is the white-black god, Athreos, god of passage. 5/4 indestructible, 3 mana god, which is, obviously huge. Thasso is 3 mana and insane, as we're going to get to in a second. Farika's 3 mana, and people also think that's very good. But this ability is what really is getting people excited. Whenever another creature you own dies, return it to your hand unless target opponent pays 3 life. So I just think this card is crazy. Like, I know that white-black humans hasn't done a lot. Like, Cartel Aristocrat, Zathir Necromancer, this guy, maybe even like Splash White for Voice Resurgence, and all of a sudden you have an engine that no one can stop. What do you think?
I think you meant green, first of all. Second of all,
what did I say?
Like this god. You said white.
Yeah.
I like this god. As for this card, I think he really likes to play with Zathir and Necromancer.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue is that it's a little expensive. Like, with those white weenie strategies, you tend to want to be more aggressive. But there's definitely a shell in there where you're just like, where you're either splashing white or splashing black. So you could have, like, Tormented Heroes and Thought Seizes and Pain Seers and all of these 2-drops, and then, like, splash white for, like, Cartel Aristocrat and Athreos, And then maybe play, like, Desecration Demon or, like, Blood Baron as your, like, top end. And just get people.
Go the white splashing black would be a little more better just due to the Boros Elite, Banisher Priest, and Soldier of the Pantheon right now.
Alright, so this is Farika, God of Affliction, 5/5, another 3 mana god, this is the third one. A green and a black, exile target creature from a graveyard, its owner puts a 1/1 black and green snake enchantment creature token with that touch onto the battlefield. So the rules question you're going to get asked a lot is, if I exile my opponent's thing, who gets the snake? Well, they do. So it's not really for exiling their things. It's for exiling your stuff. Also, this is not like another scavenging use. You can't play this in Modern and then exile their Snapcaster Mage targets. You can only exile creatures, and if it's their creature, they get the token. Yeah, I mean, so what I'm kind of excited about is that this ability sucks, which means that they didn't want to make a good ability for some reason, which means either they were trying to make, like, a kitchen table magic card, but they wouldn't have costed it so aggressively if that was if that was what they were trying to do. I just think that there's some way to break this 5/5 for 3 that no one's figured out yet. Like,
it's
also,
a 5/5 for 3, and it makes a 1/1 with that touch.
No, like, I don't even care about the ability. I'm not even talking about the ability.
Yeah,
I'm saying, like, if you
on your side is okay.
Right, no, but, like, if you cross out that last ability, I think the card's broken. Like, they costed it like this for a reason, is my, like, idea. Right, and, like, the ability to go, like, Thought Seize you, Lawless Troll, go, Farika, or, like, attack for 2, Farika, Desecration Demon, attack for 7, none of my things die because 1's indestructible, 1 regenerates, I took the removal spell for Demon out of your hand, like, could be good. Or, like, Veraska, kill your detention sphere. Like, I think the deck could be good just having this as a 5/5 when things go right. And yes, maybe the ability comes up once in a while, but I think the 5/5 for 3 is good enough here sometimes.
Yeah, like I don't know. They have a lot of double mana symbols.
I'm definitely in
cases, triple mana symbols.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the minority here, but I'm excited for the possibilities. Alright, so this is the new City of Brass. The difference between this and City of Brass is that City of Brass, you can tap for mana, and then the paying life goes on the stack. So you can play that ad nauseum deck, where you, like, pay life you don't have, and then make it so if you would, like, lose life, you don't lose the game, you just go to 1, and then, like, win the game from there. So this is a little tricky. Some people are saying it's better, however, because it can't get hosed. Like, people can't tap it for you. That doesn't really happen in Standard, but in Modern Legacy it's possible with lands, tap other people's lands, etc., etc. So maybe it'll be a little better in those formats. So in Standard, they've been recently printing a lot of aggressive cards. Burn just made a rise to the top. Mono Blue is a relatively aggressive deck. Mono Black, aggro, Black's red aggro, things like that are really starting to rise to the cream of the crop in Standard. And when they're playing this, it's going to, well, yes, it may make them a half turn faster, but I think ultimately it's going to hurt their mirror matchups, which may be plentiful now that everyone can play aggressive decks. It's like you get a 5-color aggressive deck and you get a 5-color aggressive deck. It's kind of like Oprah here. Everyone just gets everything they want, and I think that because those aggro mirrors are going to be so hard to win with 4 copies of this in your deck, I don't know how much play this is actually going to see in the current Standard format. What about you, Derek?
I like it and I don't like it. Right now, the only decks that want it are, like how you said, the splashing because of how aggressive it is. It's going to do not going to do enough damage in those decks where it's going to matter, because they're either going to, by the time they kill themselves with it, they should have already won the game, and if they didn't win the game, then it's kind of irrelevant the extra 5 points of damage this is going to deal, unless you're going up against a mirror match. And then even still, this is 4 out of the decks that usually play between 20 and 23 lands, I want to say it is. So 4 out of 23 lands, we'll say, they don't, the chance of you having multiple of these in your starting hand is slim, and if you do, chances are you're then going to mull just because of how risky that is. But other than that, it just makes it to where you don't have to play temples for the 2-color decks to keep up with your curve.
So this is Battlefield Thaumaturge or something like that. It's Human Wizard. It's a 2-mana 2/1. Each instant sorcery spell you cast 1 less to cast for each creature targets. Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that targets it, Battlefield Thaumaturge Mage gains hexproof until the end of turn. So Derek chose this card as his favorite in the set. Tell us why you love it, Derek.
I play a lot of spells. I have always played the decks that play a lot of spells, little creatures, and this makes those spells cheaper. You are Doomblading for 1. You are Far Awaying for a total of 3 mana instead of 5. You get to use a lot of the Strive cards, some of them being their Strive cost being free and or reduced to where they're actually reasonable in costing to be relevant. Yeah, I just love the card.
I mean, where do you see this finding a home? Like in a blue-black, in a blue-black tempo deck, in a control deck, in a white-blue aggro deck?
I would say Esper has every reason to play these. It's going to make Doomblades 1. It's going to make Ultimate Price 1. It's going to make all sorts of spells, the removal, pretty much 1 mana or 2 mana rather than being 2 or 3. Like Flames of the Firebrand can now potentially be 1 mana or 2 mana depending on how many targets you're choosing. And it just, right now, it seems that it can make a lot of those multi-target spells 1 to, or anywhere from what they normally cost all the way down to 1 mana.
That would be good. Alright, so this is my pick as a card to talk about in the set, the Fleet Feather Cockatrice. 3 mana, 5 mana, 3 generic, 1 green, 1 blue. Flash, Flying Death Touch, 3/3. So you have a Flying Death Touch, Flash, 3/3 for 5, which is already really good, by the way. And now you add Monstrosity for 3 for 7 mana. So this card is obviously going to be like a limited powerhouse. You're going to first pick it and then be looking to pick up like Kior's Followers, Voyaging Satyrs, those types of things. But can we just love this art for a second? Like, I was looking at this card in the spoiler, looking for something to do this like segment on, and I just like couldn't look away. This thing, like, it looks so intimidating and majestic, and I want to cast it, and then I want to cast it again, and then I want my opponent to attack, and then I want to cast into my opponent's attackers, and then I want to do things where I like cast it on my turn, like the end of my turn, I untap with Prophet of Crufix, and I monstrosity it. Like, I want to do all types of things with this card. It's great.
It's definitely a good limited bomb. I don't see it leaving limited, sadly. Its art looks like an angry peacock. That's all I have to say.
I mean, that's fine.
Although I can't tell if that's a sea serpent in the background or if that's still its tail.
No, I think it's the tail, which is fantastic, by the way.
Then its tail is like 20 to 30 times the size of its body, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's fine. Dude, it's okay. It's sweet. Alright, guys. Well, that's going to do it for Journey Into Nyx spoiler season for us. The pre-releases are this weekend, so remember to hit up your local store for those. And like, share, comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys next time.